All right, and welcome back to episode 061 of the OK podcast powered by the Strength Co. I'm your host, Grant.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Guidons.
Whoa. Okay. Someone forgot the checklist.
We just freaking
Trey's mic might be a little hot.
Yeah, it might be a little hot. Might come a little hot. Today's date is February the 24th in the year of our Lord 2025. The price of Bitcoin is $92,067.85, which means that we are rich. We are broadcasting to you live from the high desert, beautiful 29 Palms, California. By way of Utah, we have our resident Mormon, Mr. Jeff Buege. And of course, coming to you from Amarillo this fine afternoon is Mr. Trey Gottlich. Robert Gottlich the third. He is the third. He goes by Trey and he has 3 daughters, and life is just super easy for him. We have a lot of things to talk about tonight, I think, and lots to catch up on. I just be advised, if you're listening to this podcast, I just want to make sure you're tracking that we do a roll call, and just so you're tracking, that's what we do. And I just want you to be advised that make sure you're tracking. And with that, the one's not here. He's off doing admin things because whenever someone's not here, we just say they're off doing, and then we insert their job title as a verb. Like, tap. He's off doing tap things. Like, what does that even mean? But anyway, the one's probably out publishing the morning report from last year.
Verified.
Anything from the Deuce?
Yeah. Taking a deuce.
He's out. He's taking a deuce.
Deuce is doing Deuce things as he usually does
in the vault.
Yeah. 3, you want to go over cops?
Cops. Okay. We haven't hit on it yet. I know it's going to come up, so I'm just going to hit on it now. Trash.
Could you advise me?
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me just go ahead and let everyone know. Be advised.
Be advised.
Trash is still our number one priority. It feels in the hearts and minds of the folks around the battalion that's slipping, but we need to be advised it's the commander's number one priority. Priorities have not changed. If we go ahead, can we pull up the commander's priorities slide real quick? Okay,
on.
no.
Yep. Hang on. No, not that slide.
Not that slide. Nope.
Just restart.
That one didn't get it. No, hide that one.
Restart. Wait, why isn't it formatted? Calm. The projector's down. I literally lived through this morning with a 1-star general in the room. Like, it was incredible. It was like, no, that's not the right slide. And hey guys, let's just level set everyone real quick. Let's just level set while fixes the slides. But
my goodness.
Yeah, anyway, here's the G1 report card right here. Everything's looking good.
Okay, so, great. Next slide.
Yeah, next slide. Anyway, yeah, Trey's like,
trash.
What are they talking about?
Trash number 1.
Hey, trash is important.
Continuous.
And continuous.
Amen.
It's like Chow. And the funny thing about Chow is it produces trash.
That's probably produces most of the trash.
Yeah.
And chem lights. Yeah.
And chem lights, IR chem lights. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the cops 3. We appreciate what you do. This is Trash 6. I want to thank everybody for coming, team. We really appreciate you. We couldn't do it without you. Remember, it's not about you. It's about the Marines. That's what I've always said. And if you're a lieutenant here, these are the best days of your life. Okay. These are the best days. I wish I could go back to those days. Now I'm just making PowerPoints, which apparently I can't even figure out how to do because they're all trash. Speaking of that, secure that trash.
We need a sponsor for the roll call.
Yeah, we do need a sponsor for the roll call.
What's a good trash company?
Waste management.
Yeah.
Waste management. A lot of money they can throw around.
Yeah, potential sponsor, waste management.
Yeah. I like that.
Anyway, 3, you want to go into the agenda?
Okay, gentlemen, agenda slide. Okay. Let's see. I think first up, we're all sitting on the edge of our seats. A lot of listeners that tuned in last week, they want to know what's the update with the rat war. How are we doing on the rat front?
Yeah,
are
what
we
is
winning?
up
Are
with
we
the
losing?
rats?
Have the lines changed? Are we gaining ground? Are we losing ground?
Little rat talk.
I sacrificed space for time. Is that what it is?
Hey, this morning, real quick, was in a little traffic jam getting to Camp Wilson this morning. Got out of the truck, couple young skippers in front of me, those nervous captains. They don't understand field grade isms. And I said, wow, we're going to have to hurry. We're going to be a little late. And one of them looks and goes, yes, sir, I didn't do a good time space analysis this morning.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
Did you call him a dork?
Could also just say
dork.
you're running a little bit late, but anyway, so you're trading space for rats. You're trading trash for rats.
No, we brought. So what was the update I gave last week? I upgraded
upgraded the rat traps.
Upgraded my rat traps. And still no rats. I feel like they have relocated. They're currently in a defensive position.
Ooh. Okay.
Are they like in a downward slope defense, like on the front edge of the hill?
I feel like they have an L-shaped ambush somewhere in the garage, and I just have not. It has not been sprung yet. So once I find it, the best way to get through the ambush is fight through it.
Have you been getting like evidence? Like, are they snooping and pooping?
Oh, dude, there's poop everywhere.
And not your daughter's poop, like rat poop.
It's poop in the garage from rats, poop inside the house. Poop in the backyard from dog. There's poop. That's like
this trash sticks real quick. Just want to cover some of the some of the things that sometimes we don't talk about. We talk a lot about MRE heaters, keeping the aluminum away from the tin and the tin away from the metal and the metal from the plastic. But I just want you guys to be on the alert. We got a surface shitter on our hands, and the surface shitter is at large. We tried to isolate them, and we have not been able to flush out the surface shitter. And Trey, what you're dealing with there sounds like you got a whole host of surface shitters.
I feel like my whole house is that. Yeah,
surface shits.
Hey, we got toilets around here, everyone. Come on.
Yeah, it's so great. We did do some isolation research on the surface shitter.
Interesting.
And this is the only time we'll use a super abrasive profanity on this podcast, but you can't say surface crapper. You can't say dry dumper. You can't
have to have the alliteration.
The surface shitter. It's the greatest name ever. Yeah. Like it's the guy that just surface shits, it's incredible. But be advised, I am tracking that he was in Fort Drum, New York, Fort Dix, New Jersey, 29 Palms.
Oh, so he's in your unit.
And at every evolution, which means he hasn't gotten hurt or gone to a special school. We are narrowing it down.
What if it's Grant? And he's just like trying to throw everybody off.
Whoa. What?
You mean M. Night Shyamalan movie. The twist.
You mean my buddy?
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, your buddy.
No, it's you. You're just going out there and trying to frame your buddy.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I mean, it is kind of fun. It's like, hey, we need discipline. Stop doing this thing. Sir, we don't know who's doing it. Someone's doing it. It's me. I don't know how you do that. It's so easy.
Rats are large, but I feel like they've pulled back.
Okay.
So they're still at large.
Have you seen any of them?
Recently, no. Probably not in a week.
Okay.
That's good.
So,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we've seen their poop.
I still feel like they're around.
Yeah. Is it fresh rat droppings?
Like,
have you tasted them to see if they're fresh?
Yeah. Clever girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in there with the shotgun.
Did you name any of the rats? So it's not it's not like Cinderella where they're fun.
Yeah, they're not making like dresses.
Not making dresses or anything.
Cinderella.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that could be. Maybe when you get into peace talks with them, that could be something you put on the table. It's
Trump's come down. Trump's come down, and he's offered. He's offered to do peace talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Well, Dang.
It's a good
rat
that's
war.
a good rat.
I wish I had some bodies.
Talk.
Ooh. Wish I had some bodies.
If you slay a body, you gotta send me a photo immediately so I can post it.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah.
The rats.
Don't pee on it, or if you do pee on it, don't videotape it. Okay.
What are you using? Yeah, don't pee on the dead bodies. What are you using for bait?
Peanut butter.
Crunchy or creamy?
Just creamy. I also the other thing I sprayed the outside of the house. Well, not
peanut butter.
No,
with crunchy peanut butter.
Coyote urine.
You should have come up to the high desert. I have that in endless supply.
Where do you get coyote urine?
Amazon.
Strike.co. You just go to apparel and more. We actually use it to season our cast iron pans.
Oh my goodness.
Well, coyote piss.
That's
works
what that
great.
thing is.
Yeah.
What's the smoke point?
It's unbelievable. It's the highest. It's higher than grapeseed oil. Yeah. That's what I've always said.
My goodness.
Coyote urine. Wow. That's incredible. Coyote urine for rats. Doing a little Googling here quick.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Coyote urine for rats.
Well, because they also
this is booming.
Keep the rats away and go about your day.
Great.
Well, the other thing is they
this website looks like it's from 1993.
So the garage is busy, right? So I got we have stuff in the garage.
You got you in there working out all the time. You got kitchen six in there just lifting weights.
I got strollers.
Cars being parked. You got 3 strollers.
So that's the thing. So no car. The car's outside. So the rats get into the car and chew the wires up.
Ooh.
Wait, in the car?
So they get up into the engine because it's warm. And they just chew. What
are you driving these days?
Chrysler minivan.
Is it like from 2020 or newer?
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. You need like a 95 Chevy Silverado, where the engine
complete opposite of that is
neither of them get warm. The engine compartment's so good on the 95 Chevy, it's just like pissing air out.
Cold.
Yeah, it just runs cold. Yeah.
The guy next to me, I need to talk to my next door neighbor. He has a good square body. I think you'd appreciate.
Ooh, can you send me a photo?
I'll send you a photo. He took off the bed, and so it's just the cab right now.
Okay.
He's doing some sort of work, I think.
Is it a Chevy?
Yeah.
Is it like a cool one, or is it one like I have?
Hey,
I think it's.
I mean, mine's cool to me, but mine's are kind of dime a dozen. Like, is it?
I feel it's like around your year.
Okay, so like the trucks that when we were kids, everyone's dad drove.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like a 91 to 9.
I think that seems accurate. I'll send it to you, and you can verify.
Yeah, please do. I'm not
good at what was that? Remember in Fort Sill where they would like show the enemy vehicle? And you had to like say it was like whatever Russian vehicle it was. You had to like identify it.
And Jeff would always look at it and be like, "Oh, look at that! It's a little baby truck." Ain't no little baby truck.
2S6.
Yeah, it's a 2S6. Ain't nothing but a baby truck. I'm actually back into doing that, Trey. Like
identifying?
Yes, we did like the war, and it's like I'm like flashcarding like all these weapon systems, and I'm like, this is incredible. Nothing's changed. No.
Oh yeah, you had your big laser tag war,
dude.
Do you want to get into it?
Dude.
Oh, dude, I was actually kind of excited about hearing.
I really want to hear about this.
Yeah, no, it was. Are we just going right into it? 3
Let's do
3.
It.
Hey, 3. You mind if we go into? Okay.
Hey, absolutely. Next slide. Let's push.
Went into the big war. It was, it was fun. So you do a bunch of stuff. I mean, Jeff knows, Trey knows. You talk 24-hour ops. You don't have 2 Marines walking around with red lenses at night. Like you man crew serves, all that. Every time you go to the field, you try to do the right thing, but it's just, unless someone's trying to kill you and there's consequences, there's just always a default of like, now I'm just going to go to sleep or whatever the case is. And so I will say Godfather, and then like even the subordinate or the hires commands took it very seriously. And so we went out there and it's like, so there's no phones. They did an RFID sweep. So they swept for all phones. So if you brought your phone, they'd fine you, which was cool because one, they showed evidence that they did it later, which was good. But then two, you just never realize how much the phone is a crutch until there's no phone. And then, so they're using satellite imagery, they're using stuff. So we had decoys, we had fake howitzers, we had fake launchers we were throwing out. But you go out and that your reconnaissance elements are like out there soon. It's like MARSOC's out there, Recon's out there. And it was just like a 5-day no sleep haze fest. And for the listener, it's basically a glorified laser tag, muzzle flash from your weapon kicks off the laser. And then the laser goes and, hits it. And then there's simulation stuff. There's artillery simulation rounds, and there's people that are there to adjudicate. What does adjudicate mean? I think I know, but Marines asked me this. I
settle an argument or settle. Basically.
So I was to say, someone's the judge of the outcome.
The judge to determine facts. That's how I described it.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Anyway. So there's people running around adjudicating, if you killed someone or not. And obviously you're fighting a like-minded enemy, other Marines, but it was pretty cool. The Marines that we fought all came in from Okinawa. And so they just finished mountain warfare training at Bridgeport. So there was actually some real human factors as you're looking into it and doing this stuff. Anyway, so we go out there. And you're hiding, and you always put nets up over howitzers, and you're trying to tuck them down. But there was some time. So the enemy air had these Russian Hinds. So I think it's is it a MiG-29? What's the nomenclature? It's called the Hind, Russian Hind, Mi-24, and
in Mission Impossible 2.
That thing,
yes.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but it sounds right.
I'm sorry, Top Gun 2.
Oh, Lord of the Rings. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that thing was a threat to us. So we had low altitude air defense with us. But it's just, it was a great exercise because someone's trying to kill you. There's a winner and a loser. If you die, you literally get sent to this grid in the middle of nowhere and put in a concrete bunker. And in the middle of the bunker is like a pallet of MREs. And you were just there until the war ends. And if you die and you only take what's on your body. So it's not like, hey, let me go back and grab my pack and my sleeping system. It's if you're on an OP or whatever, you die and you get sent to the, so no one wants to die, which means everyone wants to live. Yes. Yeah, it's shocking how that works. And I forgot where I was going with it, but oh yeah, the Hind. So then the Hind came. So we had low altitude air defense, which is cool. So we kicked the thing off. It's you enter the box at a certain time, and there's game rules, and then there's a last imagery sweep, and then at whatever time, it's boom, game on. And so we opened up with a big artillery barrage on what we thought was maybe some MARSOC observation posts and stuff, and you're all tied in with the maneuver and all that stuff. And then we beat feet in the middle of the night to this other position, and we're taking Lad with us. What we do, and Lad pops 9 tires. And Trey, as a logistician, you know 9 tires is the death of you.
Yeah.
And so they're up in Blacktop, and my XO's vehicle's down too with pop tires. I'm whatever, we got to fight. So I leave them there. We put in the request, and they're yep, tomorrow morning. I punched to 04. I got 2 distributed platoons. I'm in a Humvee running, FDC stuff, FDO downrange. We're shooting and pooping. And then we end up in Lovick Lake, big area. And we got the guns distributed a lot and tied into the mountain ranges with the nets. And there's this new net out called an oil can. Sounds like oil can. And so forget the desert tortoise. No one cares about him anymore. You're tying this thing to the ground. You're like staking it up so that there's no like hard edges. You're doing everything you can to the point where like batteries are like taking their Suez, like your little drones, and flying it up just so you can look at yourself and like see if you look messed up. Anyway, so we're doing pretty good. Recon gets up on a hill and spots like 2 of however many howitzers we have and calls in the hind. And that thing just comes in. Man, it just, so I'm like up on a mountaintop, like in a vehicle. So I like see it happen. I watch my boys like hasty displace. One of them gets killed. One of the prime movers gets killed. They paint the whole scene, whatever. But I'm like, man, that thing's like crazy. And so I'm like, I got to get Lad back up. So we get Lad back up finally. And it's like day 3. I don't know. It's all a blur. I'll tell the story and then we can move on. But it's like day 3. We go in, we enter this new position. I got the Lad boys up and they're all pumped up. I gave them a bunch of Godfather swag before we went out. And they've been like broken down for 36 hours. MWSS like took forever. Like the hind comes in, dude like jumps out, hops on a berm with a man pad. They paint the hind dead. We're like, yeah, we're shooting artillery. Hind comes back, shoots it again. Hind comes back a third time. They say he misses. And then like the painters start throwing all these artillery sims. And I'm like on the radio like 2 or 3 times, like, is it contact or are we taking IDF? Because if you're taking IDF and you don't move, they'll just start painting everyone dead. And everyone's like, it's IDF. So I call like the brevity code for IDF and everyone just like hits the road. We're in like the Delta T. And I had just taken over like 3 guns from another battery because like all their leadership had died. And so they rolled everyone up under Godfather. It was great. I was like Godfather Battalion. And so like, I have like all these chiefs and stuff I don't know. So I'm on the hook. So I'm like, it's Godfather 6. We're going north 5 clicks, lower left. I like give it. And we're like going down the road. And I'm like, there's 3 trails. Everyone take a different one. And it was like all training stuff like goes out the window of like, it's 35 miles per hour.
Yeah,
like, don't do this. And we're just like hauling. And I split, like we're driving and all of a sudden I hear like the hind and it's coming like directly for like the convoy in front of me on the left. And it's low, man. Like it is so low. And I felt like I was in a movie and it's coming and I'm like, go right. And like, we're pulling a generator too. And my driver's like cutting it right. We're in the soft sand and we're like spinning out. And I'm like, oh no, I'm going to like flip a Ginny. And we get it. And he comes down and he just like strafes the front of the convoy. And then we're like, okay, he's gone. He's gone. And then all of a sudden, like my turret gunner's like up there. He's like, sir, look up. And like, I look up, like back up through the turret and the hind's just like I swear if I had put my arm out the window, it would have chopped my fingers off. And I was like, this is awful. Somehow I didn't get painted dead. Definitely not a wordsmith to the painters by any means. Not at all. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. It was good. It was realistic. I mean, obviously there's gameisms. There's things like,
it's like I got you.
Dead people are dead, but they're not dead yet, right? Like you can't just like leave someone that's not actually dead, like on the side of the desert for the next 2 days. Like they still require food. Like the truck that just got blown up, like still has to like take the people to the zombie camp. So there's definitely like stuff away from it. But in terms of like hiding, camouflage, use of UAS, and some other stuff, it was definitely a good exercise, responsiveness of fires. And we did like a lot of like TTPs and stuff. We definitely like tried to implement some stuff that's like current, you know, in like the Ukraine-Russian conflict. But yeah, it was fun. It was exhausting though. Like it was. So
I take y'all lost?
No. So I don't want to say we won, but we didn't lose. We definitely did better than the other side. And again, this is a maneuver game, right? Like artillery support. We definitely, it's like if one side starts winning, they start like regenerating forces, you know? So yeah, they kind of make it go, but no, there was no like decisive, like these are the champions. But we definitely were on the winning side. And for us, like we'd never lost all our tubes, which was the goal. Cause usually it's like, I have this, you know, God gun that's on a boat offshore, like destroy all the artillery day one. And so like the hiding and stuff works. So yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Anyway, can you give me a little high desert medal, pin it on my chest?
Yes, sir. Attention to orders.
Attention to orders. Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So was it just a helicopter like pretending to be a hind, or was
it was they had 2 Russian hinds, and they had a contractor cool. that is he's like a retired I think U.S. colonel, they said, and he's definitely the guy in the debrief today said something about like he has more hours flying like the Russian hind than like all of the HMLA pilots that participate in the like exercise combined. Like he was like fantastic. Like it was incredible. Like, and he was having the time of his life and probably making like $4 million an hour. Or something insane. But no, it was a real Russian hind.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It was cool. It was cool. And like it was, I don't know, today in the debrief, it's run by like some Cobra pilots and like, well, like everyone's like talking about the hind. The hind's not actually that great of a capability. I'm like, I don't know, man. That thing seemed pretty cool.
That guy's flying it. It's pretty damn lethal.
Well, like I'm pretty sure it's like, I think it's like a troop carrier attack helicopter. Like it's everything. I think.
Everything. Yeah. It's
he can get loaded out with a bunch of stuff.
It was,
and that's probably why they say that's probably why they say lad miss, because they're like, well, we got to keep this guy around.
Yeah. Well, so he had like I think he had 8 tails. That's how they call it. So you could kill him 8 times. And so, so he would go and you'd have a time where there was air on station. So if there was air on station, you basically just button down on your nets and like not do anything, which like, if you think about it, I mean, both of you can relate, Jeff more recently, but it's like you're in the field, like outside of like times in Afghanistan, like when you're on like a normal training op, it's like, oh, there's like downtime. I'll just like sit over here and eat an MRE. Yeah. But it was like, there's air, there's drones, there's helicopters, there's things over me. So it was like literally like nets are staked to the deck. Like you can't, like the only way out would be to pull a stake and like low crawl out. And so you're just like under this net. Like we had piss trenches, wag bags. We were all in.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome. So compared to the ditch gears, much better?
So yes and no. Yes. Especially today in some debriefs, I like saw the tracking. It's like the tracking of forces as they play that back is pretty cool. Because of the nature of artillery, we're not in a bunch of like hand to hand. So True. Like we didn't deal with a lot of like, boom, I shoot Trey starts beeping. We dealt more with like when they drop like IDF sims and stuff for it to go off. So I can't say like how accurate it is with shooting, because I had like, I don't know, 80 blanks. I never shot one. My primary weapon's my radio. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it seemed way better. It did definitely seem way better.
Follow my tracers.
They gave Marines like some awards, like some PFC had like the longest shot and like killed someone at 520 meters or something.
Dang, jeez. All right. That's cool.
His name was Biggie, and I said, okay.
Oh man. Wait, so you're saying you guys have like SUAS or organic to the battery? Don't divulge any top secret info.
Yeah. Let's just say batteries are throwing their own little Puma sneakers around.
That's good. I like hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously this. I feel like we should do a shout out to our sponsor that keeps
big old BW on. Tax. Yeah. So BW Tax, his head's down in the trenches. He's under the net. He's got it staked down. I did get to talk to him a day or two ago, and he said, I said, what are you doing? It's Sunday at 2200. He said, man, the OK podcast bring me so much business. I don't have time to go home. But no, he has done quite a few OK Podcast People's Taxes. He says, thanks for listening. We want to do an OK Podcast Client Spotlight of the Week, but couldn't because he was busy doing taxes. But yeah, no, BW Tax, more than a warm body. Great guy, better at taxes. He's everything you need. And it's February 24th. If you haven't started your taxes, I mean, honestly, it's going to be hard to catch up. But bwtaxllc.com.
Good dude. I talked to him this week too.
Of course you did. I heard you were super organized.
Trey,
is that true? He must have a low bar.
Well done, the bar is low.
Dang. Well, then another topic that's I'd say again kind of in line with sponsorship. The company that powers this podcast, the Strength Co., they released a cast iron pan. How's that doing? Is there an update you wanted to give on it or something?
The cast iron pan. Yeah, no, the cast iron pan is doing good. Well, have you cooked yours much, Jeff?
Almost
daily
every
driver.
Day I use it. Yeah, almost.
So, serious question. How was the break-in? Because it still needed to be broken in, I assume.
Honestly, not bad.
Okay.
I thought pretty quickly it was up to speed with the pan, that I've been using for years. I really like it.
Have you been oiling it at all?
Yeah, I always kind of wipe down, clean it out, put it on the burner till it's completely dry, and then do a coating of beef tallow on there, just to keep it all glistening and shiny. Yeah, you know me. I don't vaccinate the pan either. I make sure that it doesn't receive any vaccines.
That's good.
It's more difficult than you think. So let's just say that.
I got
what were you gonna say, Trey?
The leather
pot holder.
Yeah, pot holder. I like it, man.
From us? Did you get the pan too? I don't remember.
I didn't get the pan.
Oh, you just got the holder. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the holder.
Yeah, no, both are good. Yeah, no, the pan's doing good. Selling well. It's limited release to 300, maybe a little over halfway sold out of them. And it's funny? A little behind the curtains for the OK Podcast listeners. I haven't even launched the page to sell the pan. I have a buddy of mine in Texas that's into cast iron. He's shooting the whole pan. He's been busy. He shot most of it. He hasn't sent me the photos. We have a website update for the pan page. And it's just the photos I took on my stove that's been selling it thus far. But yeah, no, the pan's good. Go buy yourself a pan. Use code OK.
Okay.
And I forgot what it saves. It's something like $29 or something. Hey. You definitely save some money.
Just a Netflix month right there. Yeah.
There you go. It's a Slack membership.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Dang. Okay, we got a lot of sports topics. Well, hold on. There's one. Before we move away from marine stuff, there was a Chow Hall post in the Slack there. Peanut butter and broken ice cream machine. I'm guessing what that's referring to.
Yeah, Trey will like this. So, Trey, remember we used to have to report on the Chow Hall? Have we talked about this in the show before?
No, we have not talked about it on the show, but I do remember that.
Yeah. You remember that, Jeff? Or no, Jeff, you were out on the Mew, I think.
With Liz Raga.
Yeah, Steel Rain 5 would make you, when you were on duty, you had to eat all 3 meals at the Chow Hall and had to review and evaluate the Chow Hall and then turn it into the Chow Hall staff and then come back, brief him, and then go over to the regimental forum, brief him on what sucked about the Chow Hall. And I hated it, but I kind of loved it, but I mostly hated it. But now I think it's an absolute requirement because the Chow Hall facilities in 29 Palms send the message to the general. They're terrible. I'm like a trading over here. They're absolutely heinous and garbage. But I say all that to say I go to the Chow Hall and I go to my favorite one, PFC Littleton, World War II vet. Go look him up. That's who the Chow Hall is named after. And I go to that one and I'm just doing my thing. I'm getting my chow, and that's where I've been told I've had a, Southern hospitality, and the food's bad. The piece of chicken I got was like smaller than my thumb. The line is absolutely packed because it's like school break hours for the comm school. So I'll never make it back through. So I go to get cottage cheese. They don't have cottage cheese. The yogurt tastes like glue. And I'm just like, I got to get some protein. They're out of white milk. They're out of chocolate milk. And I'm like, whatever. I'll just go get those little peanut butter packets. You know what I'm talking about, Jeff? Like the ones with like the white packets. You know what I'm talking about, Trey? With like the blue and red lettering. And I'm like, I'll just get like 10 of these. And I'll be good. And I go and there's none there. And so then I'm like, now I'm like starting to get pissed. So I go to the girl, I find her. I'm like, hey, how are you? And it's like, you know, she assumes I'm going to like, I don't know what she assumed, but she was like really surprised I talked to her. And I was like, peanut butter, it's usually here. And she's like, oh yeah, let me go look. So she goes back and like clearly someone like forgot to put out the peanut butter. So she comes out with like a bin of like 5,000 peanut butter packs and like puts it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, like, are you guys ever going to get the cottage cheese again? She's like, oh, it fell off contract or something. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I get the peanut butter and I walk back and I'm so hungry. I was like given like lima beans and a small piece of chicken. And I'm just like, all right, I'm going to get ice cream. And I never get ice. Yeah, it fell off contract. The cottage cheese fell off contract. It is funny. It is funny. And they say it with so much certainty. And like they were the ones negotiating at the table with the cottage cheese, like advocating for me, like, oh, we tried, but it fell off contract. Anyway, so I go to, I'm like, I'm going to get ice cream. So I go get a bowl and I walk over to the ice cream machine. And right as I walk up, some Lance Corporal like, hey, sir, it's broken. And I turn around, there's like 4 Lance Corporals at a table. They're like, it's broken, sir. And I'm like, oh, you tried it? And they're like, yes, sir, it's broken. I was like, all right. And then like I look to my left, there's like 4 PFCs. And they're like, sir, it's broken. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yes. And then my staff sergeant came because he was going to get ice cream. He's like, oh, it's broken, sir. And I just like look at it for 2 seconds. And I go, is it broken or did they forget to put the handles on that like you pull down? And they're like, it's broken. And I'm like, well, how did you like attempt to get ice cream? And they're like, well, sir, there's no way to attempt. And I'm like, well, that's my point. It's clearly like missing the lever that you pull. So I go back, I find the peanut butter girl, the same girl. And I'm like, hey, the ice cream machine. And she's like annoyed now. Like, why would this guy ask me for cottage cheese, peanut butter, and ice cream?
What is this guy's diet? He must be keto.
Carnivore. The marine diet.
Just Chow Hall. That's it, the Chow Hall diet. These are the only things they have.
And cottage cheese.
What's left on contract? Oh, we got peanut butter, ice cream, and cottage cheese. Perfect. Serve it to the Marines.
It's so true. It's so true. Anyway, so I say to her, I say, hey, I think the ice cream handles are missing. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't work in the ice cream. I'm like, well, you work here, right? And she's like, yeah, but I didn't do the ice cream. And I was like, okay. I was like, I just like the handles are missing. And she's like, wait a minute. And some other guy comes out and he like comes from the back, very disgruntled that like anyone asked him to do any work today. And he has like, dude. And he comes up, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, sir, I hope you're having a great day. Like, I think you forgot to put the handles on. And he's like, damn it, these dudes ain't doing their job. And he turns around and literally like right there on the counter, I could have grabbed it myself. There's 3 ice cream handles like on like a chain. And he like grabs it. He comes over. He like clicks them in place. He's like, sorry about that. I'm like, oh, it's all good. And I grab my bowl. And I look back at the table of Marines that were there and I was like, broken, huh? And I did it. And I made like a 6-foot high ice cream thing. And they were like, wow, thanks, sir. And I was like, no problem. So I go back, I dump all the peanut butter into the ice cream, I eat the thing, and then when I go to leave the chow hall, there's a line of like 100 Marines just like attacking the ice cream. Anyway, I was like, Jeff would have loved this.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's so good.
And it was just like the most basic problem solving skills.
Is it civilians running it?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I put in an ice complaint. I've been complaining about everything.
Wait, an ice cream complaint?
No, a cottage cheese complaint.
Cottage cheese complaint.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
Green?
Yeah, there you go.
My goodness.
There's your ice cream story.
I love good chow story.
Love a good chow hall.
Oh my gosh.
It makes you appreciate that when you go to a good one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Apparently the one in Japan, it has won like best chow hall in the Marine Corps like 10 years in a row.
Okay.
So I'm
I
excited.
can't. That's a low bar.
Hey, we're looking up.
You're getting swollen
You gotta win
over
something.
there.
I just you go to like any other branch and it's just like phenomenal chow halls.
Oh, you remember the one in Fort Hood, Jeff?
Oh yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, and it was like a auxiliary, like
it was
nothing
like
chow hall.
Yeah, it was like one they set up for us for like 2 weeks, and you'd walk up and you'd be like, "Can I get eggs?" They'd be like, "What kind?" I'd be like, "Am I only allowed one?" I'm like, "No, baby, whatever you want." I'm like, "I want scrambled, over easy, 6 hard boils, and an omelet." And they're like, "No problem." I'm like, "This place is fantastic."
Dude, yeah, that chow hall was really good, and it was like, yeah, no, it definitely didn't function all the time. It was just because like we were there doing AT, and yeah, man, that was good.
That was good.
Dang.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So you had some lifting questions in there. I don't know if you want to.
Did I now
pose them? You talked about seeing a video of gym bros versus blue collar workers doing some lifts, and then you had some questions about the intermediate phase.
That was a question.
Tell me more.
Intermediate phase. So here's my question.
Okay.
I've heard you talk about it. You say you're just in the intermediate phase, right?
Perpetually.
Like that's how you would perpetually, right? What's after that?
Advanced.
Like who's in the advanced? What is the advanced? And how's it different from the intermediate?
So I mean, I think in short, like the phases, the way that starting strength puts them out, which I think are pretty smart, are based on rate of adaptation. So a novice means that workout to workout, you get stronger, which means you can add more weight to the bar. An intermediate means like week to week, you get stronger. An advanced means over the course of a couple of like months, you're able to put more weight on the bar, like hit a top PR or lift a new weight in a particular lift. I would say I'm a perpetual intermediate and kind of early intermediate because like one, ran the novice program well. And then 2, I like to lift, but I don't live to lift, meaning like I don't miss workouts. Like I have this year, I probably lifted the least amount of times because of field training opportunities, but as much as I can be in there, I can be in there, but I'm strong enough that if I have a hard workout, I can't just add 5 the next workout, but I'm sporadic and not sleeping as well as I could, chow halls out of cottage cheese, messing up my nutrition. Like there are other factors at bay that mean like the programming does not need to be advanced. So the advanced lifter is like, it's someone, it's Jen Thompson competing for, the Arnold powerlifting, bench press competition and like everything in her life is dialed in to facilitate her training. I mean, obviously she has stuff. I'm just using her as an example, but like the lifestyle supports the training, and then the program is set to peak. Whereas like for me, intermediate, I mean, since I got here January 2nd, I basically have just squatted between 360 and 420. And like sometimes it's just 360, and sometimes like, oh, I feel kind of good. It's 420. Not following in a program. I'm just like 3 sets of 5. What feels hard today? This feels hard. Go for it. Like I'm kind of like maintenance mode. So I'm not like really a novice. I'm kind of intermediate. But yeah, I mean, the advanced is more dialed in. I would say like where you like, so I say I make my life like training is a part of my life. Right? It's a part of my life. So I make sure I go to the gym, but I'm not crying if I deadlifted 455 or 470 or 465 or whatever. Like I'm just making sure it's hard and heavy. Whereas like an advanced lifter, 1 has run the novice program well, 2 has run a proper intermediate program well, where like week to week for probably 2 to 3 years, like they've seen progress go. And now they're basically tapering and like peaking. Because you can't, like, if I can squat 500, which I probably couldn't right now, but if I can squat 500 and I squat it, like, I probably can't squat 500 the next week, right? For me, and the numbers are all kind of relative, but like, I peaked up to get there and I hit it, and then like, I can't live there. And so, like, the advance is more like, hey, I'm taking all my training modalities and I'm changing them so that I can perform on a specific day in a specific lift to like win. And it's just a little bit more complex. The other way you could say is like some older people kind of become advanced lifters because they never lifted before. And because they're older, their novice phase goes fast. And then they realize like, hey, I have to lift like in order to survive. So their intermediate phase goes well. But like, because they're, I don't know, 75, like there's more complexity into their program, like their left knee's bone on bone, like this is that. And so there's more complexity, and it's spaced out over time to like hit PRs at a larger date gap. So I don't know. Does that answer your question?
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm just a perpetual intermediate,
which I think is a good place to live at.
I mean, I think so. Like I have like benchmarks. Like if I can go in and do this and that, like today what's today? Monday. So I came out of the field Saturday night, went home, saw the baby and wife.
Love it.
Got in late, hung out Sunday, drove back Sunday night, got to the gym this morning at 6. And I was like, all right, I haven't lifted in 6 days. Last time I lifted it was squats. I should deadlift and I should press. And like I pulled 455 for a top set of 5. And I'm like, man, if I can come into the gym after like not sleeping and running around, be getting chased by a Russian hind and deadlift 455 for 5, like I'm very happy.
That's real. Yeah.
Especially if the chow holds out a cottage cheese.
Yeah.
So the big thing is just like your life dictates like kind of what phase you're in.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think and people would probably laugh at this answer because like I run a strength training company, but I think if I don't consider myself an athlete, like I'm just like a recreational lifter, but if for some reason like lifting was like the main focus of my life, then yeah, I could get to an advanced stage. But it's like when I look at 52 weeks of the year, I'm not in this stage of my life able to be like, okay, I'm going to peak my lifts here, here, and here. I'm just kind of like not there. So I'm not really on an advanced program. Now, with that said, I mean, I think I've definitely been like late intermediate in my past and probably will be in my future. Like when I get to Japan, it looks like there'll be like a 10-week schedule, like a 10-week period of time where I'm like, man, I'm going to be able to train. And I 100% will like train really hard, but it's still not advanced is like you make a living off of lifting, which no one does. So really advanced is like a unicorn.
I've never met anybody in it.
Yeah. I mean, you've been to the Arnold.
Yeah, you probably did meet someone.
True.
Yeah. You met Huck Finn. Huck Finn Barbo. That's this weekend.
That is this weekend. Wow.
The Arnold is?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. I mean, like for 3 years, like this week, I'm probably getting to Columbus like today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Dang.
It's not stressed out at all.
Oh, have not thought about it. And I mean, I thought about it today because Tanner texted me something. I forgot what we were talking about. It said something about setting up his booth. And I was like, is that soon? And I was still kind of like brain dead from the field. And then I was like, oh, it's this weekend.
Oh, man.
And I was like, really glad I don't have like $10,000 of equipment headed to Ohio right now. That's just north of Georgia somehow.
I don't.
That does not track.
Do not believe that. I was not advised of that. Okay.
Hey, be advised, Ohio is north of Georgia.
Oh my gosh. It's impossible.
Right.
Okay.
No, that was my main question. The other one was just a video I saw. I'm like, oh, it's just like dudes who like work out constantly, lifting, like doing PRs going against like just blue collar workers who are just like naturally strong.
Just country strong.
I mean, that's kind of you, to be
strong.
Fair, Trey.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude.
No, like I'm not taking away from any of your like runs at the gym where you've done pretty good and like consistency wise. I'm just saying, like, I have coached hundreds of people in my gym, and it's like when they squat 315, it's like the equivalent of like having their first child. Like it's like a life altering event. And I'm pretty sure like on week 4, you did 315 for like 3 sets 5. Right.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm fortunate enough to where I feel like I can gain muscle or gain strength.
In Texas,
quickly.
we just call that baling hay.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, you would.
Tough to do against tall grass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know why? You know why we're all strong? Because we're from Texas.
South. Hey, Texas.
Good dude.
That's good stuff. All right, we got a lot of sports topics. A lot of sports topics. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
All right. South Carolina women's basketball. A little tough stretch for them, right? Did they pick up another one?
Yeah, so they broke they snapped their own record, winning at home, which I think was like 80-something games at Colonial Life Arena, and they got the brakes beat off them by UConn.
Good team.
I still think good. Like 18-1 year will always scar me for life. Like, I don't want to go into the championship game undefeated. And I know the women's Gamecocks have done it, but I think a loss once in a while is good. It's like, it's like losing a prick 153. You lose one,
look
then
what
you'll
happened
never
to
lose
Ohio
another
State.
one. Yeah.
They lost to Michigan and then locked back in. And
yeah, but they're okay. I think they're number 5 or 6.
Okay.
They're playing good ball. Don Staley still at the helm. They're doing good.
I wonder if there'll be a 1 seed.
How close are we to the end? And this is just we're close to the end.
It's getting close. Yeah,
pretty close to March.
They got 2 games left. Yeah, I'm looking now. Yeah, I don't know if there'll be a 1 seed, but still think they're the team to beat.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Well, if they do well in the SEC tournament,
they lost to Texas. Oh, we knew they lost to Texas. We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they lost to UConn. So they lost 2 games. Man, what a terrible team. They're 24-3. So that's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
I'd say it's pretty good to go.
Hey, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. Let's see. Auburn's men's basketball, they keep playing well. Yeah.
Are they really good?
Yeah, number 1.
It's either them or Duke, I think, is going to win.
Wow, they're number 1.
Yeah.
Wait, it's almost March. Are we going to do an OK podcast March Madness?
We got to.
Okay. We'll drop a link. It'll be in the show notes. Pay $10. You get a month of Slack membership free, and you get entered into March Madness.
Hey, you can't afford not to be part of this.
I mean, with a deal like that, how could you not?
Oh my gosh.
Jeff, are we going to do the ESPN one, or you got a different one you want to do?
I like the ESPN. I feel like that's the one I've done.
Okay.
Every time I've done a bracket.
All right. So you pay $10. It's a recurring fee because you have to cancel. You get a free month of Slack. You get entered. You get a chance to win. We go 33%. No, what do? We do 50% of the winner and then split second and third, something like that. We usually throw in some T-shirts. Come join us.
Yeah, be good time.
Come join us.
And then, one other college basketball related topic. How long has like the review, like the replay review been going on in college basketball? Is that a new thing? Or is that a couple seasons old and I just haven't.
I feel like it's a couple seasons old.
Really?
Man.
Like, I think it's relatively new.
Yeah, it must be because I do not. But like they review everything. Like it's absurd how much it like slows the game
too
down.
Much.
I think way too much. There's like 3 or 4 plays like at the end of like the Georgia Auburn game the other day. And like no one was complaining about these calls. It was like, who did that ball go off out of bounds? And like every time I was like, oh, yep, confirmed. And it just like, and then the teams, obviously they go back to their benches and like huddle up. And even though like the review's over and the refs take like 30 more seconds, like actually getting them to come back onto the court and just drags the game out so long.
Did they take commercial break?
I think on one of them they did, but the other one's like, because they kind of like show the ref like watching it, and then he comes up and he like gets like
conspiracy
really right up close to that mic.
Is that they do it for commercial breaks?
Did you guys see? Did you guys see Bobby Knight's chair?
Like the one he threw?
Yeah, so Bobby Knight threw the chair. It was like, I think it was 30 years ago. Does that sound right?
Sounds right.
What are we in, 25? So 95, right? Math in public.
95, yeah.
Yeah, verified. February like 22nd or something is when he threw the chair, like the famous thing. And like the coach went and found the exact chair and like sat in it for the game. I thought that was super cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But I like
Indiana?
I like old stuff.
Yeah. He's coaching Indiana.
Yeah. I liked him better as a Red Raiders, honestly.
He came to my high school.
I believe it. I mean, between him and George W. Bush, you're basically just a Texan.
Because he coached for Tech afterwards. Mm-hmm. And he was recruiting some kid that went to my high school. Wreckham Tech.
Was the kid white?
Yeah, super tall white kid.
Oh, nice.
Wait, hold on, Jeff.
That was a fair question.
Tech.
Jeff got me that.
Tech. Ugh.
Tech.
Gig 'em.
Pick 'em deep.
Hey, you got me that poster for my birthday. You remember that?
That checks out. Verified.
That tracks. Hey, be advised. The banner behind me is for sale on the website, just so you guys are tracking.
The exact banner?
Yeah, it's the melted iron one. Just be advised that if you're tracking, then I'm tracking. Graham. Just so you're tracking. I'll sign it. You put okay in the comments, I'll sign it. I don't know how. My wife will sign it with my name, but it'll have a signature. Yeah.
So somebody at the warehouse will sign
Somebody will sign it. Yeah. No, I'll be home next weekend. So
before you send them out.
Yeah, you buy it, it'll get signed.
I love it.
I do love messing with Connor. Connor came by. So not to spill any cool beans. Cool beans. Massonomics guys were here early in the month. Actually, it was February 1st. I know this because I was down there for the day and they saw my wife and I saw my wife. And then when I saw my wife yesterday, I texted Tanner and said, I have now seen my wife more recently than you've seen my wife. Because I hadn't seen her since the last time. Funny joke if you like funny jokes. But anyway, so Connor comes to the gym and he brings his lift flag And he has like CT Fletcher's signature, John Cena. Like I forget who else is. He's like, hey, I never asked you guys to sign this. And like I'm sitting there and I'm looking, I'm like, I'm like, you never asked me to sign it. And he was like, oh yeah, well, you don't really matter. Like,
I see you all the time.
Thanks, Connor.
Just pass out autographs.
Yeah, you know me, big autograph guy.
Big autograph guy. Oh my goodness.
Just so you're tracking.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, be advised.
I feel like I've been advised.
Yeah.
Let's see. We talked about it
so
last
I got a lieutenant. I like. Hopefully, he never listens to this. If he does, it's funny. Real quick, I got a lieutenant. I feel like he's like a miniature Trey. He's a little bit older. He took 6 years to graduate at the University of South Carolina, so he's real smart. And he was a Chubby's model. He was a Chubby's model in college. You know Chubby's shorts.
Yep.
He was like an ambassador for them. I thought that was a good piece of gouge.
And this reminds me, that's something that I would do.
Nah, he's just like stocky, funny, intellectual. Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of you.
Trey, if you told me, oh yeah,
when I was in
A&M, I was a Chubby's ambassador, I'd have gone, yeah, I believe that. That checks out.
He looks like he's from Nebraska.
Got some great big old muscular thighs to put in those little shorts, trotting around the Texas heat. Like, you sell some shorts. I'll tell you what.
A little caked up.
That's right, baby.
Yeah.
Speaking of cake, how about that Four Nations final? Ugh. America lost an OT.
Dude.
So I actually need a little help from you guys. So we were cutting edge on the first game because we recorded while it was. And the memes from that after were incredible. And then I was in the middle of fighting the war. And so completely forgot about the hockey game, came out and saw that we lost. My question is, was the game like super hyped? Like, was everyone watching it? Did it matter?
Dude, it was.
Yeah.
The amount of buzz that they created.
Yeah, people were hyped.
Like compared, because I think it was the same weekend as like the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah.
And which nobody cared about.
No.
Well, that was the first game, I think.
Maybe. I don't know.
It was like,
I felt like the final had a lot of hype on. Like I think people were hyped up like that. The Garden was rocking in Boston. Like, yeah.
It was the highest viewed hockey game in the last 30 years.
Oh, really? And we lost.
Yeah. It was a good game, though. It was a really good game.
Overtime, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, can't win them all, but
who's the guy who scored for Canada at the end? McDavid is his name, I believe.
The best player in the league.
Apparently, right, best player in the league, and so apparently we left him wide open.
Oops!
At the end of the game, I know nothing about hockey, so I have no idea.
Game if you don't play in Texas. That's what I've always said.
Apparently, half the Stars team is on the Canadian national team. So
yeah,
bunch of traitors. But
It's
yeah, I don't know.
cool.
Interesting how that Four Nations thing hit a nerve, and people were all.
So that's new. You realize that's new, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the first one, right?
Mm-hmm. I think.
Yeah, because I think it's second, but I could be wrong.
I don't think so. I think it's the
so
first.
basically NHL denied the Olympics. And so then money, TV, taxes, stuff you'd need BW for. But I think it was it used to be the players all went to the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And then NHL was like, no, we're not doing that. So then there was nothing. And then they did this. And it's the same thing they do in rugby. And I get it. Rugby is a much smaller sport, but it is kind of it's like, I could see this going really well because it's the same thing with the World Cup. Americans don't watch soccer. And then all of a sudden they're like, USA. And so I think the nations thing could be good. And it was a good start.
Good timing of it too. Don't try to put it any other time. There's no football going on.
Oh, great time.
NBA regular season is happening. Baseball hasn't started.
I thought you meant like politically, like Trump wanting to take over Canada.
I think that was part of it too.
Yeah. I think that
100%. Like you had a little rift going between like Canadians and U.S. That whole thing. So I'm like, that definitely played a part.
Send me to Panama. Panama.
But that was fun watching that.
So did you watch it?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would never. My buddy sometimes when he's deep in the training area and knows the route well, would never have a speaker in the truck and play anything. But potentially, if he could, he'd play Panama. And then there was like a point where we'd like killed some people, notionally, of course.
Of course.
And like we got on this route and it was daytime because I did so much night driving, which is exhausting. Dude, and I was like, where's the speaker? And they were like, sir, you don't have your phone. And I was like, oh, right. Panama. And I just had to sing it. Yeah.
We don't need no phone.
Yeah. We don't need no phone. Thanks, Obama.
No. Four Nations is awesome. I don't know. My whole thing with that is like, I feel like those hockey players just cared more.
Yeah, it's the last refuge.
The effort they put in.
It's the last refuge for men.
Yeah,
that's it.
In sports. Sports-wise, yeah.
Junction Boys is a thing of the past. NIL's ruined college football.
True.
Like I feel like hockey's like the last bastion.
Well, I feel like they're just playing for the sake of playing. When as like NFL contracts, right?
Yeah.
NBA contracts.
And it's like they are making good money in the NHL, but it's not like
it's not stupid.
There's not this like one-upsmanship of like, well, that guy just got paid that contract. So now if I don't get paid this in my next contract, like I'm going to cry and pout and not show up to workouts. They're like, yeah, okay. It's okay with me. I'm just going to go skate with the boys. Yeah. And they just go out there and skate.
Okay. Just going to skate with the boys. Okay. We got to get a Canadian hockey player on here. Hey, if you listen to this and you're a Canadian and you play hockey or have ever played hockey, to include when you were 5, DM us. We want you on the podcast.
You don't even have to be Canadian.
You can be from Minnesota.
True. Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
You have that kind of accent.
Minnesota.
If it's Canadian adjacent or Canadian, we will.
And they call that the Midwest. I mean, just think about how different Minnesota is from Ohio, which is from South Dakota. Like people in South Dakota are cool.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever met anyone that you liked from Michigan? The answer to that is no.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not
in Ohio. Oh, man.
No.
Panama.
Speaking of college football.
Yeah. We didn't talk about the guy that got executed in South Carolina.
Oh, we could definitely talk about that. I was going to continue with the sports talk. Two more sports topics.
Technically, capital punishment is a sport.
It is. If they told him, hey, run. But yes, college football teams are canceling their spring games, like Texas, Southern Cal. There are a couple others. Do you guys have any?
I was skipping the spring game.
Yeah,
right?
just not going to practice.
They're just not going to do the game. They're like going to do in the article. It was like they're going to do more like NFL style, like OTAs. And
I listened to the Texas coach give the reason behind it. He's like, well, one, we played like 15 games this year. Yeah. He's like, so we played a lot of games, but then we didn't have enough. He's like, I need more times since they lost a lot of people to the draft. He's like, I need more time to evaluate incoming freshmen. And so I'm like, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I don't like hearing the argument. I'm like, yeah. And people really care? I mean, I don't know. I guess you see like clips of like Alabama with a packed stadium for like their spring game, but I'm like,
do you watch a spring game? Do you watch the Auburn spring game?
I've been to some spring games, but I've never for South Carolina, but I've never watched one, but I have been to them.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah. I mean, I went when I was in college, and it was like, it's like, hey, let's all go to Columbia this weekend and watch the Gamecocks. Like, it wasn't like so much about the game. I did enjoy it though. Yes, to be honest.
We appreciate the honesty. Now
we're tracking honesty.
To be honest, be advised, I enjoyed it. So you're tracking. Just so you're tracking.
I don't know. Like, you can't tackle like certain players, so they always. It's like you can't tackle the quarterback, so there's no sacks, right? And so if it's an offensive minded coach, then like you can tell because like he's wants to see the offense perform. So like you don't get really see what the defense looks like. I don't know. To me, it's just not worth like that entertainment value. It's like not very high.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they just all went away. Yeah.
I could see that. Which I'd be fine with.
Okay, last sports topic, and then we'll get on to the our views on capital punishment. This is a late addition to the slide deck, but apparently some unidentified NFL team has proposed banning the TUSH push.
Is that like where you
Taylor
take
Swift.
your hand, stuff it up the guy's rectum, and push him over the goal line?
Yep, and just score touchdowns.
In the Marine Corps, we call that mounting the turret.
But I don't know.
Why would they ban that?
I don't know. Because it's like your assist. I don't really know. But wasn't it against the rules in college football at one point?
It's not anything with like the sexuality of it. It's more like the legality.
I think it's more. No, I don't think it has to do with sexuality.
Okay, so it's not because it's
these gay boys. Yeah.
Hey, don't be touching each other's fannies.
Yeah. It was illegal.
What did Tony Soprano say? And she's like, so what is the problem? Because he's a fag. And I was like, 90s TV at its best.
But yeah, because there was like the Reggie Bush, like the Bush push.
They were playing Notre Dame.
A reggae Bush.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a lame play. Like, yeah, it's highly effective, and I totally get why people do it strategically. But I think it's just lame. And it's called the TUSH push. So that's really lame. So like, get it out.
I'll put it this way. If my team was doing it, I'd be all about it.
Oh, same.
You know what I mean? If Auburn was running that, like every play at work, I'd be like,
"Oh, are you guys just jealous?"
You can't run it.
If you guys just stop if you just think about it, if we just put the fullback back in, you wouldn't even need it.
You just hand it to the fullback.
Just hand it to the fullback. Done. Problem solved.
Life was so much better when the fullback was around.
It really was.
Dang. Okay, that concludes sports topics. Hey.
Ooh.
Stand by for referral code.
Ooh, buddy.
Dang. What else we got?
We got talking about South Carolina using the old firing squad.
So let me get this right. The backstory is this gentleman released the monkeys.
Yes.
Yep.
In South Carolina and is now getting a firing squad.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're a little
no trial.
Bit incorrect. He actually gave Dabo Sweeney the plans, the playbook for the game after we'd won 5 in a row. And we thought we were going to establish dominance. And then the Gamecocks went on a 5-game losing streak. And that's why we're killing them.
Very well.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, he chose that, right?
Yeah. So I guess there was a thing. Jeff probably knows more than me, but like South Carolina was always doing it. And then like 13 years ago, they stopped doing capital punishment. And then it got turned back on like a year ago. And then the last 3 people in the state of South Carolina that have gotten killed from the COVID vaccine, I mean, technically they call it lethal injection, but same, have taken like 20 to 30 minutes to die. And they end up dying from like suffocation and like they're like the medicine's not working.
Ooh.
And so then they passed some other law that was like, oh, don't say it's Pfizer. Like, we won't say who's killing the people. And then the governor, Henry McMaster, he talks like this. His daughter went to college at the College of Charleston when I was there. And I do declare, if a man has to die for the sins that he hath committeth, let him choose whether he wants the pharmaceutical injection or the electric chair, or here in the state of South Carolina, the first state to secede the firing squad. And this guy was like, yeah, I want the firing squad. And his lawyer was like, you shouldn't do that. He's like, I definitely want to do that. I watched the last 3 people die and it looked terrible. Just shoot me. And yeah.
This sounds super morbid, but like, is it, I assume it's a squad, so multiple people. Is it like a
last I checked, that's what squad meant.
What are they doing?
Yeah, I've never really researched it, but like in general, the point is it's multiple people, so no one knows whose bullet killed them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see. How big is the South Carolina? How big is South
How
Carolina?
Do you join the South Carolina firing squad?
The stars at 12.
Wow, a full squad.
Makes sense. Yeah, full squad. Okay.
4 squads combined to make a platoon.
Wow. How about that?
The stars at night. Basically, the headquarters battery XO at regiment comes out and kills you. And then he kills himself because he hates his job.
That tracks.
Yeah, that tracks. I'm tracking. Man. Be advised, there's an execution happening in South Carolina. Be advised. Dang. The amount of people that say be advised, it's crazy.
It's
crazy. And it's like
every transmission will start.
Whatever you just told me, you could have just told me. You did not have to say be advised. Literally convoying back in the convoy. Like what I would say pretty tactical, good ops for like 4 or 5 days. And we're like convoying back and we get onto base and it's like, be advised, there's 2 joggers on the left side of the road. I'm like, 1, I have eyeballs. Fair. I'm in an up-armored Humvee. I can't see anything. But 2, why did you have to be advise me? And of course, I don't let it just go.
You probably say be advised before everything now, right?
Oh, I would say, I don't know. Hopefully there's a couple guys that over time will vouch for me. I would say people love me as much as they hate me. Because they're like, oh, he's kind of funny. But like every time someone says, just so you're tracking, I'm like, oh, now I'm tracking. Thank you. I wasn't tracking before. Thank you for bringing me up to track. See, it's good, I'm advised and I'm tracking and it tracks.
I'll say Grant's, like your sense of humor, if I described it, you would say be advised sarcastically and it would be funny. And then it would stop. You keep saying it would stop being funny, but then you would say it so much it would come back around to being funny.
Yeah, there's an arc. So I don't call that a sense of humor. I call that a leadership style. I'm going to talk about your hands in your pockets so much that you're uncomfortable. And then I'm going to talk about so much that you're like, does he care? And then I'm going to talk it so much that you're like, I'm going to go sew my pockets up. And only when you're in garrison. Stick those puppies in the field. Let's go.
Let's go. Pocket up here. Hands are going.
Yep. We got any save rounds alibis?
Hold on, let me do one final scrub of the hit list
please.
here.
Yeah, check the hidden slides.
Scrubbing. I think we are rounds complete.
Okay, good. We love being rounds complete.
Be advised. Rounds complete.
Just so you're tracking, be advised, we are rounds complete.
Okay, good. We're going to play an oldie but goodie. If it works.
Yes.
It may not work.
Sometimes I forget.
But there we go. Nope.
That's what I love. What I've always loved about BW Tax is, you can be someone like me. I have a W-2 job still. Got to support the wife, the kids. There you go. Kids, there's child tax credits. It's the government has really created a wild maze that is income tax and loopholes and all that. And that's what the folks at BW Tax, that's their bread and butter. I mean, that's what they're known for and what they've come to be so excellent at. And that's why, you can talk to them remotely, even if you're from some place in the sticks like Western Northeast South Dakota, you can still talk to a warm body at BW Tax. It's not a bot. It's not a chat GPT service. It's real people there providing a real service. And that's what I love about them at
BWTaxLLC.com.
Yeah, that's what I like. Sometimes I forget, but that's what I like.
Daggum.
Still brings a tear to my eye.
He's from the south. Let's see. For everyone go to the Arnold this week, have a great time. I hope you miss us. I hope you miss your free t-shirts. I hope there's text and Instagram posts saying we wish you were there, meaning to us at the Strength Co. We are forward deployed. We do everything for the FDO downrange. We always have. We support the troops. But yeah, have a great time at the Arnold. Go see our friends over at Massonomics. They generally have like John Gruden hanging out at their booth. Big sports guys. If you are there and you get your behind the booth, sometimes when you're running a booth, there's trash accumulates. And you guys can testify to this. You were at the Arnold last year. You got powerlifters running around. There's Miller Lite cans. There's Chick-fil-A boxes. And the trash can become a deal because remember, at the end of the day, we are a war-fighting, plate-selling organization. And you don't want the first look to be trash. So if you're at the Arnold, secure the trash. Please, the trash is a real problem. But thanks for tuning in. Episode 61. We get 8 more till we get 69 and then retire.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been real. It's been fun. It has been real fun. Trey, I think at this point of the show, you talk about Mr. Helmet. You invite a guest and you take us down for a landing.
In that order. Okay.
Just do your thing.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Before I do it, I heard that you think the bathrooms are going to be any better at the Arnold.
Oh yeah. No, I did see, I saw Tanner post something today that was something about the bathrooms. I was like, oh, that joke that they get to do every year over and over and over, and it always lives up. Like how convenient. It's like a Marine messing up PowerPoint and then bringing up trash. Like it's the gift that keeps on giving. But yeah, no, it is weird not being there. I mean, it's not that weird.
All that poops on the surface. That's for sure.
Hey, if I was there, the surfer shitter. Shitting on the stage. Real bad. Sorry, Mom. Right, Mom, you won't get it, but it's worth it. The surfer shitter is really funny. The guests love it.
All right, get in the zone. This has been episode 061. Correct? Yep. Of the
Okay.
Podcast. Good job.
Okay.
Hey. What do they say? At ease. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. As you were.
Yeah.
Episode 061 of the OK Podcast. As always, like to thank our sponsors, BW Tax. It's that time of year. Get with them so you can get on it, get that money back. Like to thank our other sponsor, Mr. Helmet, Gridiron Green, the green gridiron that we all know where to get the helmets. It would be at the link below. Big helmets, small helmets. We got them all for big heads and small heads, any size. Also, if you look at below, you will see the link to the Slack channel. Use code OK, get a little discount there. If you have any questions about lifting, life, want to be silly, want to be serious, we got it all there. Jeff has a lot of great wisdom that he passes along there, so just reach out to him.
Yeah.
If you're not following us on YouTube, I don't. At this point, just don't want your business. I like the number of followers we have currently, so don't follow. No more followers there. But most importantly, go to www.theokpodcast.com and you will find the social media links. Give us a like, give us a follow, whatever you do there. But most importantly, as I always say, we each have our individual social media accounts that we are very active on. MySpace. Truth, LinkedIn, Instagram.
Yep.
What other ones? Blue Sky.
Star Shield.
We got them all. Star Shield. We're live all the time. Look, as you see, Jeff's live right now.
Oh, Jeff.
Most importantly, as always, we are powered by the Strength Co. Get the greatest pan company in the world. Coach, did I miss anything?
I think that's it. www.theokpodcast.com. Thanks for tuning in. We support the troops. We appreciate all your listens. Thanks, Matt, for staying this long, and we'll see you next time.